What's good, YouTube family? Today we're doing a mid fade. Right here, I'm just combing the hair out, making sure everything's laid properly, and then we're gonna get right into this cut. So right here, I got my 2 guard. I got it closed. It just kind of depends on the hair texture if I open it or close it. But with his hair, it's thick enough that I can just come in with it closed and just start debulking.
You're really a part of me. Yes, I've got you under my skin, under my
So right here, we're gonna go ahead and set in our bald line. I like to do it differently for everybody. I don't like to just put in straight lines most of the time. I like to give my cuts something unique to them. So with this mid fade, it's gonna have more of a like arch look, like y'all see at the end. But it just doing these little things like this, it's gonna separate you a lot, just to have something unique that stands out with your cut. So right here, we're just setting in our lever open step. You want to make sure you're setting it in consistent and not having like any spots that aren't cut, and just keep the same shape that you did with the bald line. Doing this is just gonna help your fade come out as clean as possible at the end. So now that we got that set in, to take out that line you just created, I like to break it down into thirds. So I'll go lever closed at the bottom, and then I'll go halfway up, and then all the way open. Doing it like this, like I struggled with it for a long time trying to take out this bottom line. I know it's a problem a lot of barbers have, but one of my guys that cuts in St. Louis actually put me on this step. And shout out Lake Fades. Bro's going crazy on his channel. I think he just hit 1 million views, so big ups to him. But he put me on this gem right here, just breaking it down into sections rather than trying to attack the whole thing at once. It's just gonna help really not get lost in the cut. Like, it's really easy to get lost and try to like do too much at once. Just breaking it down and really just focusing on one thing at a time, it's gonna help your cuts come out a lot cleaner at the end.
Shot all heavy. This bitch heavy.
So right here I got the 1 guard on. You want to just stay consistent and keep the same shape that you have been doing. It's not going to be as visual as a guideline just because I already went through and cut it down with that 2 guard. But it's really just kind of to set it in, just to make sure you can come in with that half guard and blend everything together. So right here I'm just working that half guard. I like to just close it all the way. I used to be scared to do this because every time I would close it, I would just end up setting another guideline, and not on purpose either. And if y'all cut hair, you know that's the worst feeling, when you're just trying to take something out and you end up backtracking and setting in another line. Then you gotta go back and take that one out. It's just, cutting's a lot of trial and error though, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I tried a lot of different things and failed a lot of times. Sometimes we're pretty bad, pretty visually bad, but it's a lot of patience that goes into it. And it might feel like you're not ever gonna figure it out, but I promise one day it all just clicks. I don't know how, but it's like, there's not no like cheat code that just goes into it. One day it's all just gonna click, and you're just gonna keep getting better. So right here, just to connect everything, I got the 1.5 on. This really just kind of finishes the cut, really. I mean, it finishes the base cut. Like, to a lot of people, this cut looks like good enough, you know, to walk out the door, you know. Nobody would look twice at it. But if you're a barber and you really care about your craft, like, you know there's a lot of detail work that needs to go into this cut. And that's what's gonna separate though, you know? Like, a lot of barbers want to get that picture perfect cut. And to do that, you gotta do a lot of detail work. And it's gonna take a lot of extra time, but you know, at the end of things, you won't be able to tell the difference. So right here, I'm just picking everything out, just really seeing how it lays naturally. We did end up cutting a little bit. Like, he pretty much liked the length, but we did cut some. My camera tweaked and overheated, so I couldn't even get it on camera. But we did cut a little bit. Right here, I'm just adding in some curl enhancement foam, and then I'm gonna hit it with the diffuser in the next step. So right here, I got the diffuser on. Like, I haven't seen no other barbers use this. Maybe they do, but I feel like I'm one of the only ones that do use it. I haven't seen nobody else throw this in a video, but if somebody's got curly hair, it really bunches up the curls nicely and gives it a nice finished look. Like, I even be using it on my straight haired clients that want more of a like wavy look. And if y'all aren't using it, I would highly recommend it. It's gonna take your cut and give it a nice like final look. So for his lineup, he doesn't have like a natural lineup that's just there. We line up bangs pretty much. So for that, you just comb down a little section. That's something you want to talk to your client about though, because it does grow out oddly. But he likes the lineup look. So we just comb down a little like half-inch section, and then it's just pretty much lining up straight hair at that point.
Deep in the heart of me, yeah. So deep in my heart that you're really a part of me. Yes, I've got you.
One thing I've noticed with lining up straight hair like this, you always got to comb it down, because like you could go over it once and it might look crispy at that point, but the moment you comb through it, or the moment he goes home and combs through it, it's all gonna look completely different, just because there's little hairs that, you know, weren't cut and they just kind of got folded up by the clippers. So just make sure you're combing through it and going over it multiple passes. It's just gonna give you the best outcome. So right here, y'all know how I like do my C-cups. I like to take the corner of the blade and just pencil it in. Like, I never use the whole blade because you'll end up cutting too much. So just use the corner and just keep etching that hard shape in, and it'll eventually just all come together really on its own. So right here, we went ahead and just finished off the cut with some Kiss Express. And if y'all cut hair, y'all know how much hate enhancement gets. I look at it like styling gel or like hairspray. Like, the cut didn't need it, but it just takes it to another level. My client appreciates it, so I spray it on. Like, I only do it if they want it, but I think it gives it a nice finished look.
That you're really a part of me.
But yeah, YouTube, that's pretty much the cut. I hope y'all enjoyed it today. I hope y'all learned something new. If you did learn something new, drop it in the comment section. Let me know what y'all want to see in future videos. I appreciate you if you sat to the end of it, and God bless.
Shout out heavy. This bitch heavy.